Hello and welcome to the next tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going over loading user geometry such as shapefiles, boundary files, any sort of spatial file into Formable. Let's go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to be picking up right from where we left off from the FIA data example. So my Formable is already loaded here. And you can see we have the New Hampshire data and the latest validation ID. Let's go ahead and make this full screen. So if you want to import your own geometry, under here in the Import tab, we have, again, plot data, which is your user data, FIA data, which comes from the data mart, and geometry, which is data you can upload into Formable. So this is optional. You don't have to use this, but if you do use it, it can kind of enhance your experience with Formable. So in order to use this, you have to have some sort of plot data loaded first, and then you can browse to where your geometry is located. And you can see here we support things like GeoPackage, GeoJSON, FGB, zip shapefiles. As important, Esri shapefiles must be in a zip format because they contain not just the SHP but all the extra stuff. So please make sure you zip that if you upload it, or else it won't work. That's a limitation I wasn't able to work around, but please make sure if you have a shapefile, you upload it as a zip file. So you can have polygon or multi-polygon data. Doesn't matter. As long as it's a geometry, it should be good to go. So for this example, I'm going to browse to my, I have in my little demo folder, I have this thing called geometry. I'm going to be using the Forest Service administrative boundaries for the U.S. Forest Service National Forests. You can easily find this just with a quick Google search. It's going to be the first one that's going to pop up. Basically, all it is a polygon that contains the boundaries of the national forests. What this will do is it will load the data into Formable, and it will give you a little preview of the data. So there's our actual polygons. Here's some of the information about the data. And so what's really cool about this is that you can select the columns you want. So let's say I'm only interested in, let's just say, forest name. I only care about the actual name of the national forest. So I can go ahead and remove all these columns. I just want forest name. So good there. So what this will do, this will take the polygon data, and it will apply the attributes to your tree data by doing a spatial join. So if the plot falls within the polygon boundary, it will assign those attributes to that plot. And internally, it's going to take the shapefile, or not the shapefile, the geometry, and save it to your disk in a really fast and efficient format, so you can stream it to the map, use it for things later, like area estimates, for example. So it's really really efficient. So you can click here and click Apply Geometry once you have the columns you want and the data you want. You can go ahead and apply this. It's really fast. It applied it to your data. And so, for example, we have this data called forest name that came only from this. Just to make sure this works, we'll get into how we use the map later. We come to our map tab, we can see, oh, look at that. Our polygon is loaded. And you can see if we actually zoom out here, it contains all of the polygons for the national forests here. And it's really cool. It's a flat GeoBuff internally, so it only loads what's visible. So you can load really big polygons, complex polygons, and it doesn't really slow down the tool at all. It doesn't really use any memory either, because it loads it directly from disk, which is pretty awesome. So we'll go over the map later, but just to show this, let's apply the attributes. We can take the forest name attribute from our data, and boom, we can see, oh, look at all of our plots in New Hampshire that fall within the forest boundary. It worked. You're good to go. This is the White Mountain National Forest. I've never been there, but this looks like it pulled out the data we wanted, which is really cool. So there we go. That's how you can load geometry into Formable. Pretty straightforward. You just load it into the Import tab, import geometry. You select the columns you want. It transfers the attributes to your data, and it also saves the polygon data to your disk, which can then be streamed really efficiently into Formable for maps, area estimates. Okay, so I'll leave this at this, and in the next part, we'll be going over, I believe, is the filtering of your data.